perusers of the paradoxical out there, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye, where we're uncovering the conspiracy fact the government doesn't want you to know about. As always, I'm your host, Alexander Sorochan, and this week we're looking at something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Over the past few days, I've seen multiple articles making their way across the internet about the US military's recent experiments in artificial intelligence. A number of AI tests were recently completed by US Northern Command, a group founded in 2002 whose purpose it is to provide command and control of the DoD's homeland defense efforts. Now, these tests done by US Northern Command were on a project they have been working on called the Global Information Dominance Experiments, or GIDE. That name alone just screams Illuminati Big Brother's watching, but it only gets worse once you learn what the project actually is. Using a combination of AI technology, cloud computing, and sensors, this system's goal is to monitor satellite imagery raw and in real time, then predict events based on what it sees. Command Leader General Glenn Van Herk has gone on record saying that with this technology, they would be able to predict events days in advance. The most recent test of the GIDE program, GIDE 3, was the largest yet, using information from 11 US commands and some wider-reaching sensors from the DoD. They also noted that much of this technology isn't new, but rather just the first time they've really combined it all together. On the surface, this really seems like a great advance for military prowess. Being able to predict your adversary's movements and react even before they have a chance to move into position is a huge advantage. The problem arises, however, when you start thinking about the long-term implications of this program. This is also where we get into the sci-fi side of things. We are straight up looking at Minority Report in the real world. Imagine, if you will, the year is 2030 and the US military has expanded their use of GIDE to include monitoring their own citizens. Not only is this AI tracking you constantly through satellite imagery, but also 24/7 scanning your social media and online presence to see if any red flags pop up. Then BAM! If anything does pop up, they swoop in and take you out before you actually have a chance to do anything. And for more serious cases, like domestic terrorism, this isn't the worst thing. But for the normal citizen like you or me, it could lead to many problems. Let's say, for example, I make an episode of More Than Meets the Eye calling out this very program, or the government in general, and I get flagged in the system because it's seen as going against the powers that be. I could very well get labeled a threat and become subject to whatever this futuristic police state decides to do with me. I just don't like it. Not one bit. And before you say something like, well, this is for use with our political adversaries, they wouldn't use it on their own civilians, might I remind you that according to the Geneva Convention, tear gas is illegal to use in warfare, but in the last couple years I've seen that stuff tossed around on American streets more than Mardi Gras beads. On top of that, have you ever used technology? It's glitchy at the best of times. Just the other day, I received multiple emails to my account meant for someone else, all because the system didn't read the dots between the words correctly. Imagine banking your entire criminal record and ability to live your life on an AI system. Bad idea. Full stop. And I am being a little excessive here, I'll admit. This technology isn't nearly there. Yet. But it is just a matter of time, and at the end of the day, do you really trust the government to respect your privacy? But that's all the time we have for this week, folks. Artificial intelligence is iffy at the best of times, and allowing it to play a role in diplomatic relations and our own personal freedoms is just a recipe for disaster. If you've liked this video, or others that the Keep Times has put out, make sure to check out our Patreon below and support independent reporting. And remember, there's more than meets the eye.